Movement. 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 Movement!
I'd give my left nut to go back and do it all over again.
Hey guys, famous YouTuber Wright here. You may know me as a Titanfall 2 guy, and if you didn't know, well, I've got like at least 3 videos about the game. If you didn't guess it by now, I like Titanfall 2, and by extension, I like the movement. So when you give me suggestions about games that include movement, you'll have got my eye.
September 17th, 4:28 in the morning. I got quite an interesting email. Now, one thing you'll learn when you start out as a content creator is that scammers and such are always out to get you, whether it be through fake ads, fake campaigns, fake products, etc. And truth be told, I almost dismissed this one. But as I skimmed over the little preview, the words Titanfall immediately turned on an activation switch in my head. Titanfall? The finals? Try it early? No, surely this is too good to be true. Okay, hopefully this link isn't a virus. Let's check out the trailer. Where do I sign up?
Really cool transition.
Now, I already spoiled the game a bit earlier, but yeah, Shadowrush is pitched as a Titanfall/The Finals inspired FPS. Asterisk. Okay, so now I know you're dying to ask me this question.
Reach, why do you mysteriously put an asterisk at the end of that statement?
Well, joke's on you. You fell for my explanation bait. At the time of the making of this video, the game's only been in development for about 5 months, which, considering what I'm about to talk about in this video, that's pretty damn impressive. But regardless, this means that everything that I'm about to say here is very much subject to change. Like the fact that right now, Shadowrush feels like it's 95% just Titanfall, and the other 5% is the finals. Subject to change though. Anyways, let's address the elephant in the room. How does the movement feel in this movement shooter? It's alright. Look, I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. The movement so far doesn't really reinvent the wheel, and in fact, the wheel is kind of wobbly. Let's break it down. First, I want to talk about wall running. It's great if you're just running on one wall alone, but you know, that's boring. I want to chain kicks and be cool and shit. Build some speed, you know? But every time I try to do that, it just feels inconsistent as hell, as I either lose speed, gain speed, or the sinister third option, gain no speed. Not to mention the fact that you can immediately lose all your speed if the wall you're running on isn't completely flat. You see this edge here? Say goodbye to all your speed. Next is air strafing, or rather the lack thereof. I'm a controller player, so maybe it's just a skill issue, but yeah, it really doesn't feel like you have much control once you're up there in the air. Want to turn left? Nope. Want to turn right? Nope. We're going straight. Other than that, it's not all doom and gloom. Because while the movement may be unpolished now, there are some things that I do genuinely enjoy more here than the system in Titanfall 2. So let's start with the movement abilities. As it stands, the game currently has 3 tacticals which are all movement abilities. You've got the classic stim and grapple, and now you've also got the Titan dashes. The grapple basically functions the same as the one in Titanfall, albeit it does feel a little worse, but I think that's just because of the earlier jank I mentioned before with air strafing and stuff. However, the other 2 movement abilities I believe are just fundamentally better, and I wish they functioned like they did in Titanfall 2. First, let's start with stim. Unlike its Titanfall 2 counterpart, the stim here does not increase your health regen. In exchange though, you get a lot more freedom with this ability. What do I mean by this exactly? Well, just watch this. Yo, you see that? I just jumped that building and I was able to cancel my stim early. Wait, but how? In Shadowrush, instead of being a one-time use thing, stim runs on a resource meter. And while you lose the speedy health regen, you get a massive boost to your vertical mobility alongside the regular speed boost. And trust me, in most scenarios, you're only going to need to tap it in for not even a second to reap all the benefits. The other movement ability here is the dash. Think the Titan dashes from Titanfall, or the Ash dashes from Apex. We don't really like to talk about that game. Anyways, it's pretty simple. You get 3 of them, using a dash propels you towards whichever direction you're going to, and if you hold the jump input as you dash, you can dash vertically instead of horizontally. It's simple and effective. Not much else to say about it, which is why it's my favorite. Now, let's talk about weapons. there are two specific ones I really like. These are the OP guns, all the SMGs and ARs are kind of the same, pick your poison. And the two launchers are weapons for the mentally deranged. Shit. Oh, and the secondaries exist. I never really use them. Also, I guess the devs really like the reflex sight because you will see them on every gun. While admittedly funny, there's really no point in aiming down with a reflex of all scopes on an RPG. As for how they feel in general, they're guns, plain and simple. Nothing game-breaking, nothing bad, just a bit generic. Up next, we got the technically distinct Guardian mech. Now, I'll say this, they definitely need some work, but you know, that's expected. Here's what I do like. I like having two weapons. I like being able to have two of the same weapons. I like having 3 dashes on default. I like having grenades, for some reason. Now, what I don't like taking damage from literally everything in the game from any spot on my body. And I really don't like not being able to aim down my sights in my mech. Though I'm 99% sure it is just a bug because I am using a controller. If the bug was fixed though, then my only real complaint is that because you can get shot with any weapon, which includes small arms fire, the mech can feel ridiculously weak sometimes. And I get not wanting mechs to be overpowered and ensuring that a player always has an option against them, but I think the correct route would be to add a third weapon slot and to remove the ability to damage mechs with small arms fire unless you hit them straight in the face like a certain other game. Ooh, I don't know. It might be copying, but hey, I personally think it's a good design choice. Oh, and while it might be unfair, stealing enemy mechs is admittedly kind of funny. Now for maps, for the 1 billionth time, everything is still in development, so don't expect too much, but one map that stuck out to me was Dropship. Sick ass idea, execution wise, it needs some work, but it's looking promising. And that's basically Shatter Rush. While it's really just a Titanfall fanfiction right now, the fact of the matter is, the fundamentals are fun, and it feels like the developers are truly in it for the long haul. Whether it's going to live up to be our new Titanfall 3, who can really say? But before I close out the video, let me add some things I would personally like to see in the future. Abilities for operators that aren't just movement. Abilities or more tools for mechs, and more unique projectile weapons. Those are dopamine factories. Anyways, I'm off to, I don't know, rest of my life choices for the billionth time. Like, subscribe, do all that good stuff. Oh, and you can hype this video too, apparently. Oh, and a big thank you to our YouTube members. I've been wanting to replace the ending screen for quite a bit for the highest tier, but I didn't know what to do yet. But for now, I'll just say your names. Thank you to Hollowarts, Madwar, Army, Chewy, I'm Not Aryan, and out of respect for not butchering your name, Kond. You guys are the best. Anyways, it's time for me to head out. So, see you guys in the next one. Peace!